Hello, welcome back to another video. This is part one, core beliefs. I'm now on section 4. This question is, what do most people get wrong about marketing? This is a tough one. Most people get everything wrong about marketing. I'm just being honest. The reason why I can say that so confidently is because you can go through thousands of ads and not be compelled to do almost any of them. So most people, now it's not everybody, there's still some, solid marketers out there, but most people get everything wrong from marketing. They either don't understand it at its fundamental core, they think it's just discounts. Like if you say, what is marketing? They'll be like, oh, it's slapping a for sale sticker out. Um, or they don't do any of the aspects of actual marketing. So let's take a look at my example that I just gave. Say you're a local store and someone says you should do some marketing. And they go, okay, and they slap a sales sticker on the front of their store. They could be selling whatever 50% off discount or something like that. Something a little bit more clever, right? My question would be, okay, did you send a message out to all of your past customers about it? A lot of times they'll give a blank story. They'll be like, my what? And it's like, do you have an email list of all of your previous customers for you to send a message out to them, letting them know about your sale? And they'll say no. Or if they have that list, they'll say they haven't yet. Or they'll say it's a good idea, but they won't do it. Or they don't even have the list. Now, it's okay if you don't have the list. So my next question would be like, okay, well, you have the physical address of your previous customers because of whatever reasons. Did you send them a letter letting them know you have these specials coming out? It doesn't have to be a letter, it could be a postcard, whatever, right? About the specials that you have going on. No. So you've really done no marketing outside of putting a sign out and then hoping that things get better. This is very much the way most people market. Now, as there are more businesses that are online, there are more people who will do a little bit more than the bare minimum. They'll collect email addresses, they may send emails, at least doing those sort of basic bare minimums. But then you find out that they don't do any of the follow-up. So it's not just sending an email once, it's sending an email several times. It's retargeting the customer so they see your ads. It's not just posting about it and hoping that people respond. It's posting about it several times, leaving testimonials, replying to customers. Like, it's more than just the act of discounting something and letting people know. There's a lot more involved. And even as businesses start to apply these things, they still don't do the rest. That's why I say they get almost everything wrong about it. They fundamentally don't follow through. There's no follow up. There's no response mechanism, reaching out to customers. Like, there's so much that you can do as a business owner, which is why I say a lot of times a business's failure is because they stop doing anything. So they exist and they hope that by merely existing, they will get business. And there are some markets that are kind of like that, but that fades over time and you need to actually do stuff to get people to come back. You need to engage with customers, you need to create content for them to absorb in, and you need to stay active with your marketing. It's not something you can set and forget. There is a bit of mechanism and systems you can put in place so you don't feel like there's a struggle. So one of the reasons I hear as to why people don't do all the marketing is the amount of work involved. And there really isn't that much work if you know what you're doing. Like, if you have the systems in place, if you've created, for example, a marketing calendar, so you know the promotions you're going to be running months ahead of time, then nothing is a surprise. Nothing has to be thought of at the last minute, and everything can sort of be in place and be moving forward as time goes on without you panicking over, what do I do now? And that's just like the start of it. There's more of marketing that they don't do. So the next example would be, once somebody becomes a customer, then what? And a lot of times they say, yay. And I say, no, like, do you have follow up for people who buy your product? Do you have additional products to sell them? Do you have the next step? Do you know what the next offer is? Do you know when they normally come back and buy another product? There's lots of ways that marketing interacts with a business in order for the business to be successful, right? If we say that customers are the lifeblood of a business, right? And like the business owner, I guess, is the brain of the business, if we're using a body analogy. Marketing would be like the air that the business needs to breathe to survive, right? And without it, or with very little of it, your business suffers. Without any of it, your business dies. With too much of it, your business could also suffer, which is a possibility. But most people are in the little to no aspect of it. They're like, this is enough. I'll be fine for now. And they don't realize how impactful it actually is on you. So say you just created a business. A lot of times new businesses, in this example, they get attention and customers because they're new. The novelty of the fact that they now exist will cause customers to come by, especially if you're a local place. If you're online, you're kind of like in a sea of nothingness. You have to do something. But say you're in a local business, local area. The fact that you open up shop will get you business. And a lot of times business will be okay for that first month. And a lot of business owners think, well, I'm new, so this level of business is good, but it will only get better the longer I'm in business. No, actually, it'll probably go down. Without additional marketing, you'll actually get less customers over time. Now, why is that? A lot of that has to do with the novelty wearing off. People saw you as new, but you're not new anymore. You've been around for a while. So the desire to go in and see what you have or what you're selling wears off faster over time for a local business than it would on an online business. Online business, you're basically gone the moment they don't see you. But in a local business, they might see you and be like, oh yeah, there's that place. But if you're not actually doing any promotion or marketing, you like started a business, gave it a little bit of oxygen, and now it's got nothing. And you're hoping it'll do better over time. And it isn't like that anymore. It's not like the build a better mousetrap and a customer will beat a path to your door. They won't. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that your mousetrap is competing with the 500 other new mousetraps and the digital mousetraps they see on the little death box they carry around with them everywhere. So you need to do something to get in front of all of that noise. And if you don't, you're going to suffer. So what do most people get wrong about marketing? Like I said, literally everything. Although the nail in the coffin for most businesses that I see is that they see marketing as an extra. It is an unnecessary addition, though helpful, isn't required. I don't know why they think like this, but that's kind of what they think. It's almost like you want to go from point A to point B and you have a car, therefore you should get there. Gas is optional, or electric, depending on which your kind of vehicle you are. It really isn't. It's required. Nobody really talks about it because that's part of the aspect of owning the vehicle is, well, yeah, you need to put fuel in it, right? That's the marketing. That's the oxygen. It needs to breathe. It needs to function. You need to put the fuel in your business or it's not going to go anywhere. And when you're stalled out and wondering why nothing's working, people are going to come along and be like, well, did you do any advertising? And you're going to say, I did a little, right? Put a gallon in. I don't know why I didn't go 500 miles. You have to understand that this is not optional. The businesses I've seen succeed understand that, and they always accommodate some of their budget for marketing because they understand that without it, the business will suffer. It doesn't mean it'll suffer immediately. You could have a large following, for example. Influencers are great at this. They have like millions of people, although their marketing is different, right? They built up that audience through a form of marketing, which is their content, etc. As long as they're putting out good content, they kind of always have this ability to sell things. However, if they shift gears, they go out of being an influencer and say they're going to start a business and they're going to launch it with all their people that follow them now, but they stop doing the influencer stuff, stop doing the marketing stuff, and just run the business, it'll tank. It always does. Doesn't mean they don't have a great start, but if you don't keep doing some form of marketing, if you don't keep putting gas in the car, if you don't keep breathing oxygen, it's not going to work. So that's what I would say most people get wrong with marketing. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.